Hey everybody, we're back to Palworld. I know it's been like 2 weeks, but I've been using these 2 weeks pretty wisely, AFKing to gather some resources that we need for two large projects. What are these two big things? I want to defeat Xenoloord in Ultra Mode. That's the obvious one. But also, one of you guys introduced me to expeditions, and this could be a game changer. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen these before, but in case you haven't, we can do these expeditions and they give rewards. Now, these rewards are basically everything in the game that we need. And, obviously, this is essentially automatic. You click, you send pals, which also means it can be automated using macros. I've seen some people set up some macros to constantly farm these, and that's what I plan to do. Okay, that's the plan. How do we get there? And this is the hard part, and why I've been basically grinding for a few weeks now. Okay, so here's the plan of action. This is kind of a step-by-step list of things that I need to do to most efficiently farm the expedition. Now, as you can notice, the last step here is make the macro. That is the last step. Here's what we need to do. Basically, the expedition, the time that it takes to get done is based on the power of the pals you send in. So, that means we need very, very powerful pals. Now, how do we get powerful pals? Souls, leveling up, and doing it with a good pal. And obviously, you need a lot of good pals, meaning you need to breed. So, here's what we're going to do. We'll talk about this in a minute. But essentially, we need to build a large army of something, and in my case, jetragon is probably the easiest because I already have perfect jetragons. It's one of the strongest in the game anyway. So I thought, let me build a giant army of these jetragons, and then we need to condense all of those jetragons, and you can send in 100 pals, so obviously I'm not going to get 100, but I'm going to try to get as many as I can. So, we have to breed a large number of jetragons, enough to condense at least like 50 of them into 3 or 4 stars. Now, what do we need to set up a gigantic breeding base? We need cake. So we need to set up a ranching base for eggs, milk, wheat, and honey. Now, to make this even easier, I'm likely just going to set up a ranching base for something like honey, because eggs, milk, and wheat we can actually buy using gold. So, to make it a little easier, there is now that new assembly line where you can make gold. How do we make gold? We need ingots. What do we make out of ingots? Ore. So, I'm going to set up another ore farm to make ingots, to turn into gold, to buy eggs, milk, and wheat, and then we're just going to have to farm the honey using the ranch. Once we do that, we have to cook up the cake, farm the eggs, select our jetragons to condense, and then level those up to 60. Then, we have to make another breeding farm for Anubises, because if you butcher Anubises, you get souls. Using those souls, we'll be able to farther increase the jetragon. And then lastly, we build the macro. The other thing we have to do, and this is kind of on the easier end of things that we need to do, because it's essentially making sure that our research lab, we have certain things upgraded as much as we can get them upgraded. Now, this is actually kind of a funny story. I recorded almost half a video and I accidentally deleted it, and that was kind of centered around these expeditions. So originally I had a giant video of me upgrading all of them, and sadly it's lost. So now we're going to kind of jump in kind of when I'm almost done. So as you can see with this research laboratory, we've got a bunch of the skills that we can do. And inside, it levels up different things. Now, you might assume like, oh, lumbering is only going to increase lumbering, but it doesn't. Look at this. We can lower expedition time. We can increase expedition rewards. And that is exactly what we need. So, obviously, I want to upgrade a bunch of other things. But really, what I really want to target is getting these expedition bonuses as high as possible, and we're almost done. The expedition bonuses kind of lie in mining and lumbering, and as you can see, the mining one is already done. So I just need to finish off lumbering, which is this and this, which realistically shouldn't be that hard. But let's, just for the sake of, I'm trying to think, should I go through it all right now? You know what? No, let's go through it now. It's going to take a couple of minutes, so if you guys don't want to know about this, just skip ahead or something. But let's go through everything that I've done, because it's taken me a while, and I feel like it should be shown in the video. So as far as handiwork, this is currently what I have done. If we go down here, it's basically just an increase in handiwork speed, which is going to be super nice for things like my Anubises. But what's very important here is the crafting. Here we've got sphere additional crafting 5%, ammunition 5%, spheres additional 10%, and then ammo 10%. So what does that do? Essentially, when you're crafting these items, while the PAL is making it, there's a chance that it gives you another one. Obviously, the chance is increased by 10 and 5%. Here we have, this is the one thing that I'm not going to touch, is materials required for producing weapons and armor. I already have everything in the game that I want, so I don't really care. And either way, what am I saving, like 100 plus steel? Dog, I can make 100 plus steel in 30 minutes. So this is kind of useless. And then I didn't do this, but that's just decreases time of research. Kindling was a very, very, very important one. This is, I think, one of the first ones that I got done. Obviously, for the kindling work speed, which I need to continue. But here, the cooking, additional crafting probability, ingot probability, food again, and ingots. This is massive. The ingots, the additional chance of getting ingots is massive, and you'll see why, because that also helps with us getting gold to buy cakes, and I'll show you guys how that works. Watering, I didn't do too much. I kind of just did the additional ore crafting probability, which I should probably do this too. Yeah, I should probably finish this last one. I didn't do really anything else, but once because like, farming is important, but not super important. So I'll definitely get to these farming ones, the watering and farming, but it's not really as important. As far as planting, I didn't do anything yet. Once again, just because other things take priority first. Generating electricity, I didn't do anything yet, but just except the first one. But again, not as important. I'm going to be honest, at least not now. Let's skip lumbering and mining. Cooling, I did nothing. But again, not super important in my opinion. Medicine, once again, not super important because I can just buy medicine from an NPC. Lastly, the lumbering and mining is really important one. So with the lumbering, I already showed you guys basically the expedition rewards is the big thing that I want to get. And lastly, with mining, there is a little bit of work here too. So obviously the expedition's done. But if we go down this line, extra basically speed on crude oil extractions, which is extremely important, and then also mining work speed. So these two things I still have to research here. So really the big ones here is finishing mining, lumbering, and then kind of getting to everything else. But that is what I've done so far. Before I really set up the expedition as like an AFK farm, we need to get these done. Okay, so I'm kind of talking like this is stuff that we got to do, but I've been doing this already for a couple of weeks. And then I will say this before I get started, because I know someone in the comments is going to complain that I have stats boosted. All of the other Palworld videos up until now, I was on holiday. I had all the time in the world to play. I am now back to school and back to work, meaning I'm working 40 plus hours a week. I don't have as much time to No Life, Neckbeard, Palworld anymore, so I do have my stuff boosted. Also, because this stuff is so extremely endgame, with my current schedule and how much I can play, this would take months to years to complete what I want to complete. I'm sorry, man. I have a life. So I do have some of my stuff boosted a little bit. Obviously, I have the amount of pals that I can have in here boosted. I have a couple of extra bases. Some of my gathering multipliers are up. And again, if you're against that, just go watch another video. I'm sorry, but I'm an adult. And I just don't have 13 hours to sit here and grind it out like I did when I was, on holiday. I am now back to work. I'm sorry. So this video is going to be a lot of catching up to what I've been doing. So let's kind of start one by one. We already talked about the research, so that's been going on. But how do we research? This is one of the important things. For a lot of these upgrades, the main bottleneck is these ancient PAL manuscripts. A lot of the materials to gather isn't hard, like PAL, metal, sulfur, whatever. That's not hard to get. The ancient cores are a little hard to get. But these ancient PAL manuscripts are the big thing. Now, how do we get these? We need to complete contracts, which we can turn into the vigilante to give these manuscripts. So if you see all these pink guys around the entire, basically, planet, if you kill these guys, they'll give you contracts. Now, the higher level ones give you more contracts. So at my current multiplier, I'm essentially getting 12 contracts every time I kill the Mimic, Pinch, I know Billy's up here, and Gnaw. I get 12 per. If you go up here, you'll start getting 6 and 3. So if you really want to collect a lot of these contracts, go down here. And essentially, let's just do a single kill just right now, just for funs and giggles. I think there's a really easy contract we could do. So again, just for the sake of, let's do this together. You know what I mean? Wait, what? Oh, there you are. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and 360 drop shot. Okay, I don't call FaZe Clan. As you can see, we got successful bounty tokens. We ended up only getting 6 because I am on the volcano island and not the new island. Okay, well, aren't I the biggest goober on the planet? But essentially, go ahead, get yourself some of these contracts through kills, and then go over to the Dune Shelter over here. Now, I don't know, there's probably some other places that this NPC exists, but this is the one that I personally like going to because, yo, shout out the Sand People. You know what I mean? Anakin's from Tatooine, so I mess with it. But if you go into here, you'll see this guy right here, and he's kind of got a blicky on him. If you talk to him, you can exchange, and I already have a couple of these contracts. And you can exchange them for ancient PAL manuscripts. You can see you get 3 per contract. So let's just max it out. I've got I've got some manuscripts or some contracts. Let's go and buy them. You can also buy life fruit and technical manuals, which is also extremely useful. But yeah. Now we've got ancient PAL manuscripts. There's also some other vendors in here. Now here's the one thing that a lot of people seem to forget, is you don't need to come here every time to do this. You can just catch them. So let me hit him a few. Alright, that's my bad. I killed him. Because I accidentally didn't... I don't have the ring on me. But anyway, if you're not me and aren't the brightest, and you are brighter than me, go ahead and bring your ring with you. Don't forget the ring, and just catch them. If you catch them, you can bring them home. And then, all of a sudden, you don't really have to travel all the way to the Dune Shelter every single time. I do have them in here. Let's see, where are ya? Let me... Wandering... Shady... Nope, that's not the one. Alright, let me sort by PAL number here. Vigilante. So yeah, like, I have my own guy. And again, you can... I don't... Oh, does he not like me? Who's attacking me right now? Of course, I brought... Dang it, man, I brought war upon my base. Okay. Seems like war... What's that Fallout thing? I'm sorry, I'm gonna offend some people. War never changes or something. Alright, either way, you can just bring the Vigilante home. Easy. Okay, so now it's time to get to the big part. I need to build a large army of jetragons. So, the first thing that I did is I built a base where I can farm specifically honey, right? Out of all the ingredients to make cake, honey is the only one you can't outright buy. So I have a base here filled... No way you're shooting. Oh, it's because... Am I still wanted? Hey, bud. Oh my god. Also, because I have... No, you're gonna hurt my peep! And there goes... my bee guards. Okay. Well, either way, I guess just for the man. Alright, look, I've got a bunch of bee guards here. I've also got a couple of other things making some product. But yeah, essentially, we're looking for a honey, right? I bring that back home. That is one piece of the cake. The other piece of the cake is berries, which berries are not hard to get. But for the sake of feeding all of my now extra bases, I need an extra amount of food. So I went ahead and built myself a food base with just as many planting and watering pals to get me as many berries, but berries are part of cake, so honestly, I recommend having one of these anyway. Now, everything else can be bought. So we don't need to make... Actually, you can make... Like, you can make an egg farm. You can make a milk farm. But honestly, I like this way better. I mean, the other way might be actually even easier. But I went and I came back over to my mining base. And I went ahead and obviously jumped up the production speed. So I'm getting a little bit more ore now. Sadly, I just cleaned it out this morning, so there's not a whole lot. But yeah, usually these guys also need food, apparently. That's my bad, bro. These guys are out here, you know, all day. Man, jeez, okay. My throat just went out. Pause. So, these guys are getting me some iron. Wonderful. Okay, so, now we've got honey. Now we've got ore. What I do, I take that ore and I come over here and we gotta cook it. Call me Walter White. We have to cook it. Now, this is the fun part. Because of the research that we've been doing, I am now getting extra ingots when I'm making them. So I'll show you right here. So I'm making 89 ingots. Watch, when one of these bad boys comes up, watch the number go up. 92, 93, 94, 95. I am getting extra ingots because of the research. So before anybody makes any super large ore farms, for the love of God, make sure you have that multiplier up, so or not multiplier, like the research up, so you can get extra. Now, I take those ingots and I turn them into gold using these. And then what I do is, now that I've got some gold, of course I'm in a flying glitch. Let's grab all the gold, actually, because you know what? We can just do this whole process together. We grab the gold, and now you can, of course, go to the merchant and buy it, but like any other... I don't think I can't say the S word because I'm going to get strucken down. Now, we just got to find the right one. Is this... He's red. I know he's red. Okay. I always get the wrong red one. My 50-50 luck is terrible. That's why I don't gamble, because it always seems to be the absolute last one that I talk to. Alright, so this is the guy. So you can see he sells eggs, milk, and wheat. So obviously, the eggs you go ahead and buy. The milk you go ahead and buy. Wheat is going to be really your bottleneck. At least it's my bottleneck. Now, what I have is a little auto clicker to make this a lot easier. So, what I do is I put the auto clicker somewhere. I click on the wheat. I click my button. And oh no. I just bought a whole lot of bone. Lamo. Okay, let's do that. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, I'm chilling. I'm just a chill guy. I just spilled water on myself. Okay, so there we go. I buy wheat. Wonderful. Take that wheat, make yourself a whole bunch of mills because you're going to need them. So here I'm producing flour, and flour is what you need to actually make the eggs. You don't need the wheat. You need to turn the wheat into flour. Something along those lines. So let me go ahead and take these out so I can put them back in here. Oh, actually, apparently I have more wheat than I know what to do with. Okay, I think this one's empty, so let's cancel that one. This one's almost empty. We'll cancel that one. And we'll restart this just so we don't have wheat sitting around. There we go. Okay. Alright, so go ahead, take all the stuff you bought, all the wheat that you turned into flour, and you're going to need to get yourself one of these big old stacks that make you cake. And you go ahead and make the cake. Wonderful. So, now we need to get to the breeding portion. And that is where I have made a couple of breeding bases in this area. There's a lot of flat area in this kind of space. So, let's go over there. And I'll show you what I've been doing. I'll show you the pals that I've already created. So, as you can see, I've just got a pretty standard setup. A bunch of beds and a bunch of... So, my jetragon, for some reason, doesn't like to let me ride him. Unless I'm like almost out of this place. So it's a pretty standard setup. And beds, the breeding ranches, whatever. My brain hurts. And then I've got another one right here working overtime, and then I've also got another one right here, also doing the exact same thing. And this is why we need so many cake, because I need all of these to run as much as possible. Once you've got a whole batch of eggs, which we do, we're going to have to collect them right now. You're going to want to, for sure, get yourself one of these bad boys, the new egg incubators, because without this, it is going to take a very long time to get through your eggs. And once again, you guys can yell at me in the comments, but I have my incubation time turned off because, once again, I have a job. I'm sorry. You put these in here, and all of a sudden you got 10 done instead of one at a time, because one at a time is very hard. So, what have I been doing all of this time? And that is breeding jetragons. I just started the Anubises to start collecting souls, but for about the past week and a half, I've been collecting jetragons. And let me show you what I've done so far, because it is quite a bit. So all of them with the lock. You know what? Let's go back home for a second. Because, again, the condensing is the important part. So, and also, I should probably give you guys a perspective on, like, how... So, I'm going to travel one more area. Hold on. I want to give you guys a perspective as far as how much power a pal gets, right? Like, how do we make a really good pal? So, let's go over here and we can kind of analyze some numbers before we continue. If we go over to my jetragons, a standard... Well, hold on, that's a bad example. Right here, this is a great example. This is a standard 3-star 60 jetragon with no souls. Is 44,000 power. Jetragon, level 60, 3-star, but with souls is 65,000 power. And then normally a jetragon that is like level 50 something, no stars, is like 2,000. So as you can see, even though this is level 52, if it's not condensed, if it doesn't have souls, it is almost entirely useless. These pals do not have any power unless they're condensed and sold up. So you can gather as many level 60 jetragons as you want. If you don't do the work to condense and soul them up, you've got nothing. So that is the plan of what I want to do. And as you can see here, this is a 4-star jetragon with no souls is 70. So once I get this dude sold up, I guarantee you he's going to be in the 80,000. And that is the number we're looking for, between 70, 80, and 90,000 power. If we can get a whole lot of those, we can get this time down. Currently, I started... Before all this time was around 20 minutes. I cut it to 16, I cut it to 14, I cut it to 12. And this is the first time I'm checking it again. And we have now cut it... Well, hold on, let me change the destination. So the big one is this dark cave of... This is what I want. We have cut it down to 6 minutes. Which is wonderful, but we're not done yet. Because there are still more jetragons to condense to... Well, yeah, still some to condense to 4. And then, basically, none of them are sold up yet. That's why I started breeding the Anubises. Because none of them are sold up. So, let's go back to the main base. Let's do a little bit of condensing. And then the big thing we're going to have to... Or what I'm going to have to do between now and whenever the next clip is to really do the Anubises. The jetragon portion is almost done. If we go... Do I have anything extra on me? Okay, let me quickly... Yeah, okay, you know what? I don't need to put those 2 Anubises away. Alright. We're back. I took them out of the cave. So, let's just do a little bit of condensing. Again, any jetragons with locks are the ones that I still have to basically work on. No, I think all of them are 3-starred. So I think I just got to get them up to 4. So let's just, let's just do our thing. So this one, let's go ahead. And again, they're a little, because of the way that I did this, they're kind of interspaced in between. But again, any of them without a lock, which the locked ones I can't select even if I wanted to. But yeah, essentially, I'm just trying to get as many to max condense as possible. And as far as the jetragon portion, it's almost done. It's the Anubis that we got to start doing, but for just this initial part, Let me just do the condensing for this one on camera. Yeah, really, the biggest bottleneck is just getting cake. That's why I spent so much time setting up all those bases, and because you need cake, and you need a lot. Okay, so I didn't have too many, but alright, let's take a look at what I do have. So, okay. And remember, there are, I think, 15 or 16 more jetragon breeding. So include an extra 16 on top of this. So as you can see, look at all these. They're all pretty much level 60. All of them have decent passive skills. They are all condensed to a minimum of 3. A lot of these are actually already fully maxed. These are, I think, all 3s. A couple of them are still like level 55 that I still have to get done. But yeah, so those are the jetragons. Oh, and then here's a couple, hold on. There's a couple of stragglers. Hold on. And then here's some more once again. You know what? Let me do this just for the sake of everyone seeing very clearly how many I have. Let me do the PAL number sorting here. Okay. Now if we go back. Okay, so we could see like 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So I've got 30 on this page. 3 more, so 33. Another 30, so 63. And then 69. And then 72. So far I've got 72 here. I've got another 16. So I've got around 90 jetragons. Minimum. Oh, these I'll have to condense. Minimum 3 start at level 60. So, I've been working. And again, a lot of you guys might be saying like, oh, even with all of my extra boosts, this is still taking me like 2 weeks, brother. If I didn't have my boosts, this would take me... Dude, I would grow a beard, man. Look, I've been growing this for 3 weeks, brother. I would have a full beard by the time I get done with this project if I didn't boost myself. So I'm just going to be honest with you, dog. But anyway, so that's what I've got. Now, it's time to soul them up, which is the hard part. Because let me show you how many souls that I currently have. Go to Enhance Pals. Yeah, I have like nothing. Because I never prioritized farming souls. Now, a lot of people will tell you to run around the map and collect souls off the ground. That's butt cheeks. Don't do that. Get yourself one of these automatic PAL deconstructors. And I've got some Anubises grinding out. All of them are level 1. You could see the ones that I'm grinding because they are level 1. Look, you put them in here. And again, wait. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't accidentally send the ones with my worker Anubises. I gotta make sure I don't accidentally send those bad boys in. But as you can see, once they get torn apart, they give you these large PAL souls. And these you can turn into any other type of soul using... Actually, hold on, let me let these get done. Okay, so now that those are done, if you go over to a mill, and I was kind of making a couple of small pals. Did I destroy it? No, it should still be here. Right here, small pal souls. So you can see, you can kind of turn all of them into another. So, that took like 30 minutes, but that is the entirety of my operation. New bases to make cakes, and ore to gold, gold to cake, cake to breeding, Anubises condensed, jetragons condensed, and then Anubises to make souls to make it even stronger. And all of this is only to decrease the time as far as the expeditions. So when I'm farming them, I basically can do the expedition more times overnight. Yeah, a little nuts, but we are also doing this for another reason, which is I told you guys my 2 large goals. The other goal is to defeat Xenolord as far as the Ultra Raid. And these jetragons, I don't think they have like a special affinity against Xenolord. But bro, if 90 fully boosted jetragons, I can't kill them with that, I'm giving up on the game. I'm going to be honest with you here. So everything that I've been doing to get good expedition pals will also help me to get good raid pals. Kind of. They're not the best, but it's fine. If I have to go and breed 1,000,000 Frostallions, dude, I can't do it. I can't. So, okay. I think I'm going to leave the video here for today because what do I need to do from here on out? I need to keep grinding out. I need to get more Anubises. I need to maybe get a few more jetragons. And then this is going to be important. I need to finish up this. Luckily, I think this is the last one. We've got plenty of manuscripts. And then everything else should be done. But, yeah, next video, it's going to be maybe a little bit of the same. But next video, I'm going to work on setting up the actual macro to farm the PAL research. Because this is what we're doing it for. And then maybe we'll attempt the Ultra Raid. I don't really know. Alright. I'm trying to think of anything else for this video, but I think that's about it. That's what I've been up to. Again, it's been a couple of weeks. So it's not like this happened overnight. Anyone that says, oh, you took the easy way out, bro, it's been weeks. It hasn't been that easy. Alright, but enough of my own little pity party here. I just know somebody in the comments is going to get mad. And then other people will be very chill and be like, yeah, he's just a chill guy. Alright. I'll see you guys next video.